Alright, so I'm back again. Dougie Hamilton has just been confirmed. Dougie Hamilton, obviously, probably a top five defenseman in this league. No defenseman has scored more goals than this guy in the last couple of seasons. Um, yeah, he's great offensively. He's pretty solid defensively. He can play on your penalty kill. He can play on your power play. He can do whatever the hell you need him to, and he will do it well. He's just that good. For 7 years at $9 million for this guy, he's only 28. So this deal would take him up till he's 35, which is kind of old, but you're gonna get that. It comes with the territory with the free agent this big. So I definitely think that the New Jersey Devils, they came out real well with this. $9 million for this guy. He's comparable to the Cale Makars at 9.5 million and things like that. Uh, Other than that, though, with the New Jersey Devils, now that they're gonna have Dougie Hamilton, they obviously have a lot of options when it comes to their defense now, because now in defense they have Dougie Hamilton, PK Subban, which is still a pretty bad contract, but it ends after this season. Damon Severson, solid D man. Will Butcher, he's definitely decent. Came up a bit last year. Ryan Graves, Jonas Siegenthaler, Ty Smith, and Christian Jarl. So those are the ones that are up on their team right now. But with Dougie Hamilton, you have your number one player. He can play with Graves, I guess. I don't know. He could play with whatever. He could play with Severson. He could play with Butcher. Maybe it depends on how the handedness works out. If I don't know about Damon Severson if he can play on both the left and right side, but um, either way, Hamilton's going to be a day hallmark for them. He could be playing upwards of 25 minutes a night because he is by far their best defenseman. Um, now it Now with Subban gone after the year after this, they have other options when it comes to defense. They have prospects like Riley Walsh, Michael Vukovic, Kevin Ball is a big one. So um, they have a nice mix between players that are just entering their prime, so just like 26. Hamilton would be the oldest, 28, not including Subban, of course. And then they have these younger guys like Ty Smith and their Kevin Balls. So when they're ready, they'll have pretty young defense to be in just about every single way possible. So with the rest of this team, which is also pretty young, when you look at their forwards, of course you have Nico Hischier, 22 years old, Andreas Janssen, 26, Miles Wood, Jesper Bratt, Pavel Zaka, Hughes, etc., etc. So it's a really young team. And yeah, can't forget their star goalie Mackenzie Blackwood. So and Jonathan Bernier, who they also signed. So he's a bit up there in age, but forget I said that. So it's a young team, even with Dougie Hamilton. He's only 28, so he could fit into their plans for a very long time. This team, in a couple of years, could be a very competitive team. Uh, Especially if Hughes can make a big jump. They obviously have his contract coming up. They also have Miles Wood contract, Jesper Bratt's contract, Pavel Zaga. So they have a lot of signing to do. But if they can get everyone re-signed at good deals and get some better depth, this could be a very scary team because their defense is set, their offense, their star players, they're pretty much set. So it just comes down to their depth now because they already have their goalie too in Mackenzie Blackwood, and we all know how important a goalie can be. We saw it last year with I don't know the Philadelphia Flyers maybe. So I do believe that after these players, their forwards, a couple of their younger defensemen, they're ready. This team is going to be a competitor. They're gonna be in the vying for some cups, and they're gonna also be able to attract more free agents, which will help them make their team better with maybe some veterans like Dougie Hamilton too. Uh, In regards to where else Hamilton could have landed, doesn't really matter now, but we'll talk about it anyway. Um, he could. Oh, well, just in the middle of this, I was talking about Will Butcher, and he's no longer a Devil. The Buffalo Sabres just traded for Will Butcher right now for a fifth round pick, and so they get future considerations. All right. There's a lot to talk about here because now they've just completely cleared up their defense, and they have their six defensemen for the future: Hamilton, Severson, Graves, Siegenthaler, Smith. Did I count that right? Missing, and of course Kevin Ball. There you go. You're set. If you can get all of these guys re-signed, then you have a very, very serviceable decor that can last a long time because these guys are all pretty young. So yeah, that just adds to it, and especially with Will Butcher gone, that's almost $4 million off the cap. These guys, they have now close to $21 million in cap space. That's a lot to work with. A lot. They can get everyone re-signed, no question. But as regards to the trade, I think they're just getting rid of their cap hit with Will Butcher. They're dumping it on. They're dumping it on. What's his name? Man, dumping it on Buffalo, who obviously they can take it because they just aren't so good. But yeah, other than that, it's just a really, really good signing for the New Jersey Devils. There's just no way you can come out behind on this unless Hamilton is like suddenly becomes garbage, which I doubt happens. It's really fair value all around.